Badlandz, yay, again, can't wait. So, here we play and we see Bambi.
Hey, watch
and this
out,
running
by.
by. Yeah, so what they usually do is stop the game and all that good stuff, and then just let it run through, because if it runs towards you, make sure to make some noise,
right now from right over there.
You know, you don't want it running into you or doing anything like that, especially if it's a big deer. So that idiot comes walking up behind into Jace's lane. I'm like, bruv, you in Jace's lane, move. And then Jace starts laying down some mad fire through us. So Jace's screwing around in the bushes, trying to pick off the guys who walked into his lane. I'm trying to get a visual on Jace. And lucky for me, Hector is making a lot of noise in the middle. But he's got most of the attention on him. He's got really good coverage. And I don't know how, but he's laying down a lot of paint too. So Liam and everyone else is focusing on him in the middle. This kid crawls up and gets Jace's attention by making a lot of noise and calls me up for help. And I help him, but try and do it in the smartest way possible, since he made a really stupid decision. Use him as a diversion. So I hear Liam running up to try and help out Jace and get an angle on the kid who's in front of Jace. So I try and angle myself in anticipation. That kid does pretty good at defense for some reason. I don't know his name, so I apologize. Kid in the ghillie suit with the pistol and the sniper rifle. But you held down Jace a whole bunch of times, so I'm sure he got small balls about that. But try and use him as a diversion. Hope that he makes enough noise to keep Jace's attention. I try not to make any noise, so I crawl up here. And then he finally gets the balls to run out, and I shoot him, and then quickly try to suppress Jace in case his attention switched to me, because I was making a lot of noise. We ended up just shooting towards each other instead of at each other, and that doesn't end too well, because none of us really got anywhere. So, and then the other kid drops back, and we're all safe, and then time is called. So either I think I have a visual on him or something else like that. I can't remember, but anyway. So I try and get some cover behind that. And like I said, we were both I was firing into the bushes and he was firing out of them, kind of mad at each other. So up next, we're at everyone's favorite fort, because it's favorite for reasons. It's the structure of the game modes and the size make it an uncomparable place to skirmish, because bigger maps help present variability to do more tactics with. But as you'll see, I demonstrate one tactic over and over again, because I'm not original or creative, as you can tell by these videos. So once again, I don't know if you can hear, but I have problems with my gun. I tried to max the PSI with the lowest dwell setting that I could. It doesn't work too well on a hot day when I tuned on a not hot day. So yeah, the problem is me, not the gun. I just tried to be over efficient and set it to the absolute lowest dwell setting rather than something that will cycle every time and every temperature.
I'm going, alright, you want to lay down fire? I don't know which one of those. Just wait. But hey, no. See here. From in here, okay? I don't want you to get hit.
And this one, the guy kept yelling behind us for us to move up, but he didn't want to move up, so I told him, hey, move up, but in not nice words.
Now, so I want us to lose that.
And because that side was covered by enemy fire, and then he got out. So moral of the story, don't tell someone to do something you wouldn't do, but he does it, and then he gets shot. So, by the way, you have a really nice Audi, or red Audi A6, so cheers, mate. The problem is that most people don't know, the problem most people have is that if they don't see you or hear you, then you don't exist. Non-existing people, as opposed to loud players, tend not to get seen, which results in not getting shot. So, yeah, don't do that. What I tried to do here is go over to the side, flank them as much as possible. Get them to duck in so they can't see you. However, the last time that they saw you is where they're going to point their barrels at as soon as they feel like they're safe enough to pop out of cover. So if you get them to duck in cover, they don't see you move, and they don't hear you trying to continuously shoot at them, but periodically you refresh and check up on them. So right here I was at the end of the bushes, tried to make sure that I wouldn't get caught or anything like that because I couldn't really see into those trees, but it seemed like I was a-okay from just kind of waiting around for a while. So another thing, just make sure that you're explaining to your teammates in simplest terms what they should do and why. It keeps them calm, quiet, and confident. That makes good players. That way, instead of saying "get good, trash," you'll see me do this a bunch, especially if most of our team is making noise and going through the forest. I crawl a bunch and then pop up on the back side of their attention after killing the fort. I see some movement off to my left. So I'm just trying to figure out where everyone's at. I know that there's only a minute left in the game, so that I had to make some sweet moves, man, and be as slick as possible, but trying to be safe. So as time was counting down, you kind of get a stop clock going in your head. Usually it depends on who's the ref. Some of them keep very good measures on time, others not so much. Just like, hey, 15 minutes was 5 minutes ago, and we should be playing now. Or, hey, the game ends in 1 minute, and then 5 minutes later, you're sweating your balls off. So here, I hear him talking in there. Go around. Start eliminating. Do some really good at threading the needle. So I see the grass moving, and I see the fence get hit. So I wait a second to see if he'll attack, and then I go on the offensive. You can see right here that I start shooting between that crack. The reason why I did that is because the crack was closer to me and further from him, and that gave me the upper hand. So the game is over. So I did what they call in the military cutting the pie. So make sure that you're making more of an acute angle on the formation of attack. I'll let you guys listen to this.
What? Not when there's 3 guys in a fort and there's 1 guy back there. You're outside the 10-foot rule, though.
Nobody watched you, just crawling up. Yeah, no, I know. I thought
plus, you can't surrender on the other side of a fence. I wasn't going to do that to you. That would be bogus.
So the thing I absolutely hate about those scenarios is, dude, you could have surrendered me. Well, why did you continue to have a firefight with me instead of calling yourself out after you realized how close I was? Probably because you thought you had a chance, no? Is what most people do when they run out of ammo or air, just call themselves out. So if I thought you didn't have a chance, I would have surrendered you, like I always do. But I give you the benefit of the doubt. So next time, I'll do what you suggested and surrender you through the fence. I'm sure you'll comply without retaliation, hands down. This round of the fort, we were defending. We were the last 2 players. I see a guy ominously right there pointing his gun inside of our structure and edging around the wall. The barrel cam didn't work this match, so you'll see me pop out around here. So I hit 3 guys here. One of them stands up, or kind of like he gets hit in the side because I can only see his profile. And then he puts his hand up, looks at me, and kind of just stands there. And he was in the way. I was trying to hit Julio behind him. So that's 3 people down, and then Julio and Jace are left. So Julio pops back behind the fence, and Jace gets me and makes my arm go all blah and tingly.
I'm not going to tell you while all of them are standing around us. Alright, he's dead.
Never mind, give it over!
So my guy over here in the bushes calls himself out after he realizes that I got hit. This game was ridiculous. It was a new ref and took 20 minutes to set up. Because he was trying to think of a way to divvy up the groups because he didn't want to split up, or this one group didn't want to get split up because they all had comms on. So retired former Lance Corporal referee Jay stepped in and took care of it by counting the amount of players on each team should be the first rule in Ref 101 class.
They got nobody.
So,
dude, I got him.
in this one, everything about this game is silly.
Or peeps.
That was my people. You did that too.
Oh, wait, what do you mean your people?
What did we do? So, a quick summary of this would be artillery, no one moves, Jace is a goon, no ammo, die, and then get shot.
Yes, sir. They got talent. They're good.
So you'll see here, obviously, we have all of the chill. And they have no chill, the guys who ran.
It's not...
So we're just kind of screwing around. I thought the guys on the right went. These guys are cutting up the middle, and then obviously they said most of them were going through the forest. So here I see none of them moved up.
Oh.
So,
no, I'll probably run and then.
so I decided
I'll
to
run and then
do
eat shit and then
what I
call for the
can
rest of
and
it,
make my way over there. However, you'll see that I
Is
don't
there anyone in bunkers, or did everyone stay
do
here?
so hot in the following couple sequences from now.
I mean, up in the tower.
So
I know,
quick
but on
side
our
note,
team, did anyone go?
a lot of these guys were doing really good. Just make sure that you're paying attention to your teammates. Like they were throwing artillery over our base. Not that the balls would explode at this distance, which they should have thought about that before. But you know, it suppressed us pretty good. So that kid wasn't paying attention while we were back at the base, so I pulled him in and was just like, you know, hey dude, let's do things smartly. So, and that's how we got up here. I'll see what he got hit, and then, you know, he's one of those players. That's another good note.
Yeah, but he also
if you get hit solidly and like the paint hurts but doesn't explode, like, you should probably call yourself out, because the next one's going to be just as painful. However, that is the rules of the game. If you don't feel like it was a good hit or it wasn't square, then, you know, whatever. But, you know, to each his own. But if someone hit you, you know, nice and square somewhere and it didn't explode, you're probably better off calling yourself out, because they hit you square, they probably still have a beat on you, so you're not in a good place, and they are. So we played 3 rounds on here, which is odd for a very large map. However, it was awesome, and I absolutely love this game type. It's so much fun. And to be honest, it's even more fun with small teams, because you get to use so much of the field, and it doesn't always revolve around the fort. Like, you know, some of your guys will go and get eliminated or whatever.
Hey, stop it! That's unsportsmanlike!
But your other guys, you know, they disappear and you gotta go find them. So it's fun playing hide and seek like that.
Oh.
So there I'm out of paint and battery on my
I'm out of the
barrel
ammo.
cam, which sucked, but it happens.
Don't what?
So this map was awesome. Jace is being gay, playing with my
I don't know what this is
Apex 2. But
wait,
anyway, in the last round, I ran out, tried to water bottle some guy, like run up to him and, you know, surrender him. That didn't work so hot.
Yeah, whoever wins the truck
I
wins
got
the
shot,
match.
and then I went and got my stuff and was walking out, and I got shot while holding my hand up. Literally, I came up from behind cover, took 2 steps, and got shot in the armpit, which hurts. So I don't know why the guy didn't take those like 5 seconds to distinguish if I was dead or alive, with my hands up and, you know, my rag on my head, my guns, and everything in my arms. But whatever, man. I'm sorry I couldn't appease you with my lanky, slender frame. So anyway, we go on to this, and everyone is mad at the last 2 guys, you know, wiping hits, the usual complaint. So I told my team to consistently call paint checks on them if you know that you hit them. So after 2 paint checks are called on the person, the ref usually stands near the player being accused of wiping, and usually won't interfere after you have them, you know, like thoroughly check the guy.
Wait, yeah?
Because they'll position themselves in a good way to watch for
that's what I'm asking.
hits.
That's a real
So
van,
right there, you're training the ref and the accused and the accusing party about how the game works. Putting the ref in a spot where he can monitor easily. The accused will not cheat if they're heavily monitored by the ref, and the accusers will understand that they're not as good as they thought they were. So if the ref doesn't see anything, that means the accusers think they're better than they really are when it comes to knowing where their balls were.
Hey, do we have anyone over here, or are they all still at the red?
Professionals, the rule is if you don't call...
On the Camry?
If they don't call their hit...
Red truck, that's it?
Give them a reason to call their second hit. My philosophy is that if they have to cheat to keep up with you, it's kind of a compliment. So they have to play with 2 or 3 lives in order to try and take your 1 life. It's a good challenge. So place the next mark in a more convincing location, like the mask. P.S. Don't ever shoot anyone in the balls. That brings up another rule. If you shoot a guy in the balls or injure him, you end the game. You
Hey, there's
personally,
nobody
not
left
the ref.
side?
You tell the ref, hey, this dude's in pain.
All right, thank you.
No, we're done. So it's over, and your team lost because of you. You carry him, his gear, and his balls on ice back to safety, so you can buy him a case of paint and or his preferred beverage. That's gentlemanly. So we're screwing around over here. I'm trying to move up as much as possible. Jace is on the right side. He's versing two guys at that far van over there that I'm going to be shooting at and trying getting around. But it's hard because they're directly orientated defensive towards me, so that gives them a greater heads up. Now, from communication with my guys behind me that were on my left-hand side, all they said was, hey, there's nobody over here. They all stayed at the red truck, which is their spawn, which was cool. I didn't know if anyone else moved up, and they didn't see. So, as you'll see here in a couple minutes. Oh, this was cool. This is kind of like a newer map to Badlandz. And, I don't know. It's a whole lot nicer than playing defense on some water jugs and crap like that. But yeah, so we're moving up. I'm giving them confidence to run up behind me. The two guys behind me were doing just fine the entire game. You'll see one of those guys was the loud guy with the Audi, who did a pretty good job, especially on the lift-off suppressing, because obviously their two best guys, quote-unquote, stayed and didn't move. Those two guys are the calm guys who everyone's thinking of wiping their hits. So we'll see here once we start getting closer that they finally call paint check on them, because they're close enough to make those. So, and you'll see I'll peek out and check. You see the other side if they have an angle on me and I see an enemy. So post it up, tag him out. That's the best thing you can do. He does it superb right there. I mean, even if you're like yelping or whatever, just as long as you say you're out so someone stops shooting. Because like they keep track of, the small part of your body that they're trying to hit, or that you're trying to hit on them. But you don't always see the explosion because you're busy laying down paint or there's obstructions in front of you, especially playing woods ball. The ball's only half the size of a leaf. If there's a bush in front of you, you're not going to see the explosion on them. I was shooting pink paint, so it's kind of easy to see. And then,
all right, you're clear.
So they were calling paint checks on them. The ref was trying to orientate himself. He got one of the guys, which is awesome. So the two other guys who were the main offenders were behind them. I didn't have any problems with them besides the other guy not listening and him shooting me after I was dead just because he's not paying attention. And that gets him into a lot of trouble, just, getting shot and not having a good time.
Hold on, I gotta reload. Hey, if he doesn't have backup, then he doesn't have anybody, so hold on.
So loud guys telling us to move up. I tell the other dude to hold on because I'm reloading. And if Mr. Suppressor back there isn't doing anything to help out our guy, then, what good is it for him to move up? So I try and make a hero play because I lost count of how many people there were. There were 2 on my left, 2 on my right. You'll see here as I turn around where they're orientated. I swear, no, on this one I did have a problem. I thought I shot him in the shins because he went 1 knee up, 1 knee down to the ground, kind of like in a prone fashion. And I shot him in the shin. He ducked behind the tire, and then the ref called him out. I don't know which one of those guys it was. Someone else could have hit him somewhere else. So the guys on the left do a really good job having an angle and suppressing the entire field. I feel like that's a really good spot to be, especially if you have a gun that can, really lob a ball accurately, which was cool. But the guys on the right, they just were throwing paint and staying behind, waiting for people to move up on them, which isn't too bad of a defensive move, seeing as there's like a 4-on, I think, 3 scenario right now, or 4-on-4. There might be a guy chilling back there. So, the dude not paying attention and yelling commands at the wrong time. Rule of thumb is, if you're playing speedball or have a coordinated team, Tattletale, who sits in the back and says where the locations, Other than those, if the guy behind you is yelling commands at you and not enemy locations,
Gilly, put your
he's
hand
probably
up, put
making
your
an
hand up.
assumption,
Yeah.
and you're in a better location to make calls. If the guy in front
that was
of you is
gorgeous.
yelling commands at you, he's probably telling you to move up to him because he can cover you. He killed everyone, and you're wasting your ammo shooting at nothing. No, these two butt wipers with comms.
Are you shooting orange or was that him?
Oh yeah, and always make sure to, help out people.
I mean, right in the wrist. That was beautiful.
Especially if they're, having problems. Walking off is a really big one. So if they're walking off and they don't have their hand up or anything like that, just mention something. They'll thank you for, not being shot in the back or anything like that when they're trying to get out of bounds. So this is towards the end of the map. For the game. I think they just ran out of time.
Hey, stop!
So, time was called. Guy on the left is done.
Hey, stop
Guy on the right
shooting!
is not listening. His friend just walks away, leaves him.
I'm gonna shoot.
Shoot him.
That's
I shoot
game,
him in the
dude.
pods.
Keep your ears on.
After a reasonable amount of time, I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Well,
So
if
his
you're right
teammate
there, then
says he
tap him on the
can't hear him
shoulder.
while
It's
he's
not that
shooting.
hard. You're gonna get someone hurt.
And I don't know, the ref and everyone yelling that, the game is over. And his teammate has comms and doesn't tell him to stop or tap him on the shoulder as he's walking out. So, what's logical? What's logical? Just complain about it. That's fine. So after that, these guys kept mixing up the teams. They wouldn't listen to the refs about what team they wanted to be on. We'd be overbalanced on one side than the other. So we played the first one like that, and then after that, no one wanted to have any. So they kept on mixing it up. So I shot the last guy from like 25 yards away. He got agitated and, kind of yells stop instead of, hit, and puts his arm up in the air. So he was walking into people's line of fire when he was walking out and complained of being shot. The ref was like, dude, did you have your gun or your hand up? And he was like, no, they know I'm out. The ref was like, maybe you should be more mindful of where you're walking or sides to exit the field from, and you choose the ignorant side. So, it just goes to show the refs are paying attention. Whether you agree with them or not, it's redundant. They're ruling the field. So, and, they're only going to listen to you if you're being a genuine person.
Light him up,
So,
dude. Fuck
on this
him.
last couple of clips,
Hey, is there anyone middle?
one of my guys was calling one of the other guys a cheater because he kept on hitting him. This was like the third time. So, we're moving up. I told him just light up his position. Usually that creates enough noise to drown out your footsteps when you're moving through the leaves. So you can easily put on a flank. I couldn't tell the guys from the right, so I'm like 10 feet away from his bunker, and then he hears me and calls himself out saying he's out of ammo. Which is perfectly fine. So, in summation, John's lazy and sucks paintball. Don't cheat. Get to know your refs and shoot them, like here, Liam. And I had a great time and usually go every other to every third week. So if you can, meet me up and catch us out there. We do have a great time, and if you're a decent person, then, we schedule stuff, so it's really awesome to see. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this. I hope you enjoyed, and